Congressman, I know it's a busy afternoon. I appreciate you coming on with us. You called for Republicans to vote for whoever became the speaker designate. Emmer at this stage appears to fall short of even the support Jim Jordan had in his last failed bid. Are you supporting Emmer? Are you confident he can get the votes needed?
I am supporting Tom Emmer. Am I confident that he's going to get there? Certainly hope so, but different candidate and same problem, Boris. Unfortunately, we have members of the House Republican Conference who don't seem to be able to put the good of the Republican and conservative cause first. And what members have to realize is that electing a Speaker of the House is not a personality contest. Members have to put aside their own particular differences with every little issue that each of these men have. You know, I supported Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Did I agree with Kevin McCarthy on every little tactical decision or every issue? No. I then supported Steve Scalise. Did I agree with Steve Scalise on everything? A lot, but not everything. And then I supported Jim Jordan. Did I agree with Jim Jordan on every minor detail of his policy agenda or his tactics? No, I did not. And same with Tom Emmer. But the bottom line is our strength in our majority is unity. When we are divided, we might as well have Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats control the Congress. When I go back to Kentucky's 6th Congressional District, my constituents, Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, moderate, they just want us to do the work of the American people. We can't do that without a Speaker of the House.
Congressman, members of your conference have argued that he isn't conservative enough. He's actually being attacked by Donald Trump on social media, calling him a rhino, a Republican in name only. Do you think Tom Emmer is the right candidate for where your party stands right now?
Kevin McCarthy was the right candidate. Steve Scalise was the right candidate. Jim Jordan was the right candidate. Tom Emmer is the right candidate. We need to get 217 votes. We need a majority. Look, if you support the MAGA agenda, if you support the conservative agenda, if you support a Republican majority agenda, we have to have a speaker. And unity is the only way we go forward on this. Right now, the country is paralyzed. The American people deserve better. The American people deserve a functioning legislative branch with everything that's going on in Israel, with everything that's going on the southern border. Look, if you want to cut spending, if you want regular order, if you want oversight and checks and balance on the Biden administration, if you want to fight for border security, if you want to defend our most sacred ally in the Middle East, Israel, elect a speaker, for goodness sake.
So what happens if Emmer's bid fails? I mean, you mentioned the issues Congress is facing. The government is set to shut down in like 20, 25 days.
Exactly, exactly. The American people are exasperated. Frankly, the vast majority of Republicans in Congress are exasperated because we have a different handful of Republicans who can't take yes for an answer. And so we just move on to the next one, and the work of the American people doesn't get done.
To be fair, 26 is more than a handful. So what happens next if he doesn't get to 217?
Well, you move on to the next person. And, you know, we had 9 candidates who ran for Speaker. Surely we could find one within the 9 after McCarthy and Scalise and Jordan weren't good enough for some people. Look, there's actually only one individual in our conference who got the closest to 217, and that's still Kevin McCarthy, by the way. I support Tom Emmer until he no longer wants to be Speaker. We have to unify around someone. But look, my message to conservatives and Republicans all around this country, whatever kind of flavor you are, is that you owe it to your philosophy to win. And the dysfunction in the Republican Party right now seems to be saying, we want to lose. That is crazy to me. We were elected as a majority to govern, and we are not doing that right now. And so I am imploring my colleagues to stop this and elect a speaker so that we can get back to governing.
We've heard from some of your colleagues that have expressed feedback from constituents, many of them getting an earful. Are you concerned from what you're hearing from constituents that this could hurt your party going into 2024?
Look, I want conservatives to look themselves in the mirror. Do you want a majority or do you not? You know, there is a way out of this. If we don't elect a speaker, there is a way out of this, and that is that the American people will fire us. We don't want that. We want to continue and grow our majority. I believe we can do that. I believe we should do that. I think it's good for the country to have checks and balances. Look, if you just want to turn the government back over to all Democrat control with no checks and balances, then continue to refuse to elect a speaker. So the answer to me is very, very simple. All of these men that we put up, and there's plenty of women in our conference who could do the job well also, they are all Republicans. They are all conservatives. Elect one of them so that we can all get back to the business that we were elected to do.
We should point out there is another path potentially, but it's not one that it seems many in your party want to follow, and that is potentially working with Democrats to give expanded powers to the interim speaker, Patrick McHenry. Is that something you're willing to pursue if Tom Emmer's bid falls apart?
No, I think we can get 217, but here's the reality for those who are blocking it, and I voted for every one of them. The reality for those who are blocking us getting a speaker is that that is probably what would happen if we keep on this course. So you can choose. Do you want a situation where you hand control over to the minority party, or will you unify behind one of these speaker candidates in order that we retain our majority and our leverage in advancing conservative policies? If you won't do that, then we're not going to advance the conservative cause.
Congressman Andy Barr, we have to leave the conversation there. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.